Okay, so this. Okay, so the second theme is that we have two sibling pairs in the top 5. In the first Innovation Action cohort, the winning team was a team of sisters. And so that was when Chelsea and Angelica showed up. I was like, another team of sisters, as one of 4 sisters. But today, and our second team that I'm going to invite on the stage is actually a brother-sister pair. And so I'd like to welcome to the stage Vitamin C.
Good evening. We are Vitamin C, and I'm Linda Wang.
And I'm Maxwell Wang, her brother. On May 16th, 2013, our grandmother had a stroke. After her stroke, she suffered from aphasia, which is the loss of ability to understand and to express language. Without language, our grandmother could no longer communicate to the people that mattered most to her. Our grandmother is not alone. Every year, there are 180,000 new cases of aphasia, and there are at least 2 million cases of aphasia overall in the United States alone. While no 2 stroke survivors are alike, all stroke survivors have the similar need to communicate with the people that matter most to them. During our customer discovery, one caregiver who had cared for her sister for 3 years after her sister's stroke told us how, after caring for her sister for such a long time, she knows when her sister is hungry, when her sister is thirsty, and even when her sister needs to use the restroom. But she still does not know if her sister understands when she tells her, "I love you." And so through meeting, listening, and learning from over 40 stakeholders, including stroke survivors, caregivers, speech-language pathologists, and physicians, we have confirmed this common need among stroke survivors to connect normally with their loved ones once again. And that means over text messaging and email in today's digital age.
Introducing Vitamin C, the first live web app that can empower stroke survivors to communicate normally over text messaging and email. And through this communication, Vitamin C creates a space that addresses the both physical and emotional needs of stroke survivors.
We're the only technology out there that does it all. A current technology would be speech therapy apps that help stroke survivors practice a specific speech therapy exercise. But these exercises do not directly translate into skills that the stroke survivor can use to communicate their needs. Another current technology is called Augmentative and Alternative Communication, or AAC, that provides stroke survivors with a machine that will communicate basic physical needs for them. However, both stroke survivors and caregivers associate using AAC with losing hope that they will ever be able to communicate normally again. And so Vitamin C is the first technology that not only improves language, but also addresses stroke survivors' physical and emotional needs through empowering them to communicate via text message and email. With our speech-language pathologist clinical advisors at the University of Michigan Aphasia Program, we have already had tremendous feedback of Vitamin C with our 4 pilots, including 1 paid pilot with 8 stroke survivors who have collectively sent over 30 emails. Let's see how Jay, a stroke survivor and our paid pilot, uses Vitamin C.
Jay would begin with the email template and choose a greeting to start off his email. To write the contents of his email, Jay can select pre-filled phrases or can choose one of the custom phrases that his speech-language pathologist has made for him. And since it's currently March Madness season and Jay's a huge Michigan basketball fan and excited for the upcoming games, his speech-language pathologist has added a few relevant phrases. Using these phrases, Jay can finish composing his email. These phrases will also be saved in his account for future use. After composing his email, Jay can select which contact he would like to send his email to. In this case, he would choose Maxwell. Maxwell will then receive the email from Jay, and this is what an email from Vitamin C would look like, just like any other email. Our email template is also accessible to all stroke survivors. For stroke survivors with limited motor skills, we have implemented an eye tracking software so they can use the email template as well.
All 8 stroke survivors and all speech-language pathologists we have piloted with are excited to use Vitamin C because we meet stroke survivors' physical and emotional needs. Text messaging and email allows the friends and family members of stroke survivors to still feel that they are still the same person as they were before the stroke. So currently, stroke survivors pay upwards of $180 each week to work with a speech-language pathologist for 1 hour to improve their communication skills. However, they have little communication practice in between these weekly sessions. Vitamin C empowers them to practice communication in between these weekly sessions through our text messaging and email platform. Thus, during our paid pilot, we charge stroke survivors $140 every month for a subscription to our website and for clinical speech-language pathology aid support. We also plan to offer a basic plan for just $7 each month for just a subscription to our website. So since we have pivoted to our current email and text messaging platform, our initial customers has always been the 100 stroke survivors here at the University of Michigan. With additional developers, marketers, and salespeople, our 5-year target is to reach the 1.3 million stroke survivors part of the American Speech-Language Hearing Association. And our future market is the 7.9 million English-speaking people who have some sort of language deficit that see speech-language pathologists. And these include patients suffering from traumatic brain injuries, Parkinson's disease, ALS, and even dementia. And so at year 5, where we reach the 1.3 million stroke survivors part of the American Speech-Language Hearing Association, we anticipate a revenue of $194 million. And that same year, we also anticipate a profit of $156 million. So I'm Maxwell Wang. I'm a current first-year pre-health student here at the University of Michigan. I also currently work at the University of Michigan Aphasia program.
I'm Linda Wang, a software developer and a current junior at Novi High School.
And our clinical speech-language pathologist advisors at the University of Michigan Aphasia program are on the right, Kelly and Carol. So now, we ask that you invest in us. Partner with us as we put vitamin C into the hands of stroke survivors everywhere so that we can listen to stroke survivors like our grandmother that need to be heard. Thank you.
Great presentation, you guys. Well done, well thought out, well researched. Not sure I'm going to buy into all of the revenue and profit numbers yet, but that's not the important thing here. As I thought about it, and since we last talked, I'd like you to just walk me through again how proprietary the text and email format that you have, how proprietary is that? Because it seems to me that it's doable in other ways, or other groups can do that. And so, A, does it exist now? B, is it protectable going forward?
Yeah, so to answer your question, right now I'm working with speech-language pathologists at the university hospital, and there's nothing like our email and text messaging template out on the market right now. And to address how we could protect our intellectual property, there are several, so for example, the speech therapy apps out there right now, they have protected their software. So we're probably going to file patents and protections in a similar matter.
Just one other quick thing for me. As I think about it, there's the $140 a month model that gives access to the service component. Then there's the $7 component. I think that the most significantly leverageable here is the $7 piece, and you can bring into that advertisers that want to access that selected community across different services and different products. And so it's, I think once you've created that community as a resource, there's different additional ways to leverage the value there.
Mm-hmm.
So building on that a little bit, direct to consumer can be challenging. You have to have the network, and so if you're out in front, based on what you're doing right now, you have to go through and protect your intellectual property. We've talked about that. Mm-hmm. Have you thought about approaches you might use to further validate and maybe even document and publish? Like how how do you really establish your company as the leading thinkers in this space so everybody else is running towards you?
So for our paid pilot that we did, it's still running. And so we started a month ago, so it's now been a month, and we're collecting data with our speech language pathologist partners at the University of Michigan to really collect this data so that we can convince other speech language pathologists to recommend vitamin C to their stroke survivors as well.
Yeah, I think, you mentioned the association, co-publishing with them and setting the standard for the new way this is going to be done, that would be a great way to kind of get out there even further ahead into the market.
Thank you.
Great presentation. Linda, I don't know what I was doing in high school, but it wasn't competing for $10,000, so kudos to you. That being said, so we talked a little bit about AI and machine learning and adding that component. So one suggestion there. Talk to me about the name. How'd you come up with the name?
Yes. So we have actually gotten that question a lot. So Vitamin C, we named our company Vitamin C because we hope to be like a vitamin, something that stroke survivors can take every day, and that's also good for them.
No, your grandmother would be proud.
Well done.
Thank you.